Sarah Walsh, we're back at the Asian Cup, the scene of, I guess, the Matildas' greatest triumph.
Definitely. I've actually never been to Vietnam before, so it's been a new experience for me, which is good. But this humidity, I haven't had it in a long time, so it's been interesting. And I'm just all the time sweating. I'm a little bit OCD, so I'm having 3-4 showers a day, and I can't imagine how the girls are going playing in.
Does being around the team and being around this environment make you miss it a little bit?
Not at all. I don't miss playing at all. I think I haven't really had a chance to be away from it, so it's kind of been very involved still. So in fairness, I went to training today and I was chasing balls behind the goals, so kind of got my fix that way. But yeah, I'm very satisfied.
Let's go back to 4 years ago. The tournament, when it kicked off, was there an inkling of what the Matildas would be about to do in 2 weeks' time?
Well, look, for us at the time, it was all about the World Cup qualification. And I know at the time we'd made for some reason it's 4 years now, so the things that I remember are pretty, I guess, interesting. I remember we'd actually told Tom Samani that we were going to dye his hair a different colour or whatever if we won the Asian Cup. And for us, obviously we'd like to win the Asian Cup, but the whole point of the tournament was to qualify for the World Cup. And given there were only 3 spots and North Korea were there, we knew it was going to be very difficult, much like in 2006 in Adelaide. So for me, that's what I remember, going into that tournament and having our main focus around having to win at least 2 games in our group match and get a result in the third one to be able to secure the final spot.
As you mentioned, the first 2 group matches went to plan. China kind of ended up disastrous with everything not going quite right.
Yeah, it was probably the game, given that, as you said, we'd already done enough to be able to reach the semi-final. So I think probably out of anyone, Tom Samani, I think I've spoken to him after that, probably regretted actually playing Lisa Devana because it was basically the second string team to be able to fill in for the first team, and he didn't really need to put her on. And I think that she a lot of people might not know, but she wasn't in the best mindset before going on, and she was just had that mentality that she was going to go through the keeper, and I'm not sure she would do that normally, but it was, yeah, as you said, a nothingness game, and disappointing that we lost Lisa Devana to a broken leg.
The team then had to reset because next up was Japan, although it wasn't a Japan as we know them now.
I think for me, we actually had the respect for them back then. So although they might not have had the title of world champions at that point, we still treated them like that and really felt when we played them that it was only a matter of time before they'd actually won a major tournament. So but that game for me, they played like world champions. We didn't touch the ball much, and against the run of play scored a goal up the other end. So
she can deliver a ball here, Miyama, and it goes high, floating to the post, back post. Oh, it hits the upright. That's unbelievable. And then over the top, so 2 chances. That is extraordinary from Japan. Raised. There's now Australia again in an extremely congested with midfield, and Walsh is away. She screams forward. She's on her own. Garriock's in the middle. Can she find her? But Garriock, it's a 1-on-2. She got half a boot, and they go again, and the defence hooks it away. Iwasha Mizzou stands on it. She has Miyama, and Miyama, beautiful ball into the far post, and it's wide, spoon wide by Nagasato. It was a golden opportunity. Perhaps the best possession piece of football they've played in the match so far. And Kellogg Knight, cool as you like, through the players, ball to the far post. Walsh is there. Can she trap and shoot? She does, and it goes wide. Oh, just wide. Lots of green and gold back. Miyama gets past 1, gets past 2. Kingan now, dangerous ball, and it goes over. Oh, pressure coming from Nagasaki. And they go in, other dangerous ball. Barbieri up, it's down. Oh, and finally sort of spooned away by Colthorpe. And it's going to come back in from Sudo, looking for the far post ball again. And that's a neat ball right up into the attacking line. Miyama looks for the chip, far post, and it goes over.
Well, for me, I think we used up enough luck for the previous 10 years. We still joke about it now, but we were under the pump for the first, well, actually the whole game, but I remember for the first 20 minutes, I think they hit the post a couple of times, bounced down and hit the line and come back out. And it's funny how you view that. I was actually like, oh my gosh, this is going to be bad. And other girls view that as, oh, all right, it's our day. It hasn't gone in yet. And it's funny how you think about things on the field. But I remember just thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to be bad.
Kate Gill's goal. Where were you? What were your thoughts at that time?
I was putting pressure on the keeper, all 5'0". Keeper's made a mistake, and then I remember turning around and seeing Katie. The goal was open then, the keeper had come out, and she could have easily skyrocketed over the bar, but placed it beautifully in the goal, and yeah, just chased her after that. And it was half time. We needed that half time to come around at that point. So.
Final whistle. Qualified for the World Cup, won the game.
A little bit of relief, disbelief, you name it. It was, I remember going over to Katie and just thanking her, and just, it's one of those games where we were so excited to be able to secure our World Cup spot and move on, but in the same breath you looked over at Japan and just thought, oh my gosh, they've been so hard done by. We played absolutely terrible, outplayed for 85 minutes. But you know what, that's football, and we've definitely been on the wrong end of those games as well, so you know, you take those when they come.
DPR Korea is the final.
Yeah, well, for me there was a bit tricky time for me. I actually hurt my knee after the game, I think, yeah. So I missed out on that match, but I was sitting on the sidelines watching with Devana, and I think the expectations, if I'm being really fair, weren't very high. Basically, they were going out to do the best they could. DPR have been playing really well, and Sammy Kerr comes out, and the girls dominated, and I thought it played excellent. You know, it's a really proud moment to be able to watch. You know, not the next generation of players, but girls that stepped straight up when being thrown into a final of an Asian Cup, and really didn't understand the significance of it again until post-tournament, and you come home, and even after that, a couple of years later, to still think that Australia hasn't really won silverware outside of that Asia Cup.
Well, Kaya Simon has the Asian Cup in her hand. The 18-year-old who scored 2 winners for Australia in real time. Can she win the Asian Cup? He wins its first Asian Cup! Sensational performance! One of grit, one of determination, one of passion, and in the penalty shootouts, one of cool heads!
How much of a watershed moment was 2010 in pushing this team forward?
I think it's pretty significant, actually. For a lot of the time through tournaments, we've done what we needed to, especially in 2006. We qualified for the World Cup again in 2007, but it wasn't enough, beaten in the final against China, so we didn't actually go on. So we've done that a lot of the times where we've done what we needed to, but not actually finished the final leg, and we happened to do it in 2010, so it was pretty exciting. I think the difference is, as you just mentioned, the milestones that you spoke about, 2004, winning our first game in a major tournament against Greece, going on to 2007, getting out of the group. I think where we're progressing now is some of the football that we're playing. You know, we've relied on players with speed for so long, and now we're actually starting to play some real football. Not that we weren't before. I think we did rely on a lot of athleticism, but I think the world's catching up in that respect, and we're actually really playing some nice football, and we have a really good team that are very young, so they're going to be there for a while.